right, miracle of television. They have all been soldered around them and then tacked together. So now I'm going to show you how to fill in on the top, and then I'll talk about what you would do on the back, and then you'd have to put a hook on it. So here we go. So I've got, you can kind of see the tacks. There's a lot on them, so sometimes if there's plenty of stuff to move along in between, but otherwise, if it's like a kind of narrow spot that looks like it would fill in, I usually fill in. If not, then it won't work. And that's okay, because I kind of like the gaps in between. In fact, I kind of have some of them there on purpose. So I am going to throw a little extra flux on, because some of these I've manhandled quite a bit. So they've got my finger oils on them. Whoa, that's close. Okay, woo, it's a big drippy. So I'm going to put it on, and I'm going to draw with it, and it's going to fill in, which is okay, because it's going to fill into the back. But we want, see that puddle on top? We kind of want more of a puddle than we do a groove. That right there is going to be, it's going to hold better than if you have the groove, like where you can see the crevice between. So sometimes I'll do that all now from the front, and sometimes I'll, because then I know it's full to the back, so let me show you. Right. So you can see it kind of drips through to the back, so then when I fill the back, it'll look fine on both sides. So I'm going to come around and just make sure that everything is going to hold really well. So I'm checking my tacks, because I got a lot of spots where it's just tacked together. There we go, that looks better. I don't know that this is going to fill in, but we'll see. If you've only got it touching in a couple areas, then you might want to try to fill in. There we go. So I can try to fill in. Like I said, it'll drip through to the back side. So then when I do the back, I won't have to use nearly as much as I did on the front. But the front's the part we care about, right? I'm not going to probably fill in that whole thing right there, because I like the hole there. But I do want this to kind of even out a little bit. And it was really hard for me to hold these, because you can't hold them with the pliers because they're curvy. So I actually didn't do all the sides of this one, because I thought, oh, well, when I have it on there, I can finish it then. So I'm going to finish this guy. Make sure I get a good corner in here where it touches. What I do want to do right here. This is really, like, it's barely touching in any area, so I do want to make sure that I've got it good in the areas that it is touching. Kind of like when you put on a hook and it kind of flares out. That's kind of what I'm doing here on this little one, because it's only touching on those three corners. So I don't want it to break off later. Kind of looking to see if there's any more spots. Maybe right here. I think it's looking pretty good. And when I flip it over, I'll know a little bit more, because I'll see if it drips through or not in some places. So then that's what the back looks like, and it's not as wobbly now as it was, right? But it's still like, it wouldn't, like, these are not flat, it's just these that are flat at the moment. So you can kind of see that the back looks pretty ugly, so I'm going to make sure that I go over those areas, because that's where it dripped through. So make sure I go over all of that stuff. And then I might have to put some more of this on, and I might not. So we're just gonna smooth it so it looks more like the front does. So it's kind of a quick process on the back. I am gonna try to, because it looks like it started to fill in here, so I'm gonna just try to finish it. You can see that it's getting rid of those little funky, like, pock marks, the texture stuff. So then it will hang better on the window. It'll hang flatter on the window because it won't have as much texture. I do want to get some right here. Especially these things are like really weird because they're so curved. So I want to make sure that I get it on there good. And it doesn't necessarily do it from the front, so I'm going to do it from the back. Alright, you see any more spots? I don't think I do. Alright, I think it looks pretty good. So, then I have to just decide which way is up. Make sure none of that stuff came through and looks ugly in the front. Because the front's more important than the back. And that's that spot I added more to, and it kind of is funky in the front. There, that's better. So yeah, it's pretty much done. I just got to figure out which way is up. And I don't, try not to get goobers on my Band-Aid. Which way is up? Maybe that way? I don't know. And it's kind of like this way too though. It kind of reminds me of eyeballs. I don't know. So then when I decide which way's up, then I just put a hook on, and I'm going to probably do a little bit bigger hook than this because it's big, so you know, something a little bit thicker. Put a hook on, and it's ready to wash and hang in the window.
Woohoo! Yay!